Hi, Linda Bowen here from StampingWithLinda.com, your cardiologist since 1997, helping you create cards from the heart. Today is Tuesday in Creative Fold, and I am sharing another card sample using the Waves of the Ocean Designer Series paper. This Designer Series paper was released the 1st of March. It is a limited edition paper, and I am loving it. First off, I love the ocean, so this paper just really speaks to me. Today I'm going to be doing a locking gatefold. Gatefold cards are probably the creative fold that I do the most, but this has got a locking technique to it. So let's go ahead and get started. One thing nice about the Waves of the Ocean collection is it goes with any stamp set that you have that is beach scene. I am using the Paradise Palms stamp set with the Designer Series paper. This is found in the January through June mini catalog. Now I have two pieces of that paper, Designer Series paper. These measure 2 by 5 1/4, and of course I have shared before there's different colors on the back, so you don't have to just use the ocean colors. I have 3 pieces of Pacific Point. These measure 2.5 by 2.5. I've already taken the Pool Party and have stamped the palm trees. I did use my Stampin' Right markers to color the palm tree, and I've also cut out the sun with those dies, and I used the Daffodil Delight and the Cajun Calypso Coral, I believe it was. Yes, Calypso Coral, and just highlighted around the outside edge. I have a piece of that Designer Series paper and have already cut out the Pacific Point rectangle and have stamped a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of Whisper White. What we're going to do first is we are going to stamp on this piece of Designer Series paper. I'm going to bring in my mat. We're going to be using the soft suede ink, and in the Paradise Palms stamp set is some sand. So we are going to stamp it. I'm going to look here to see where I think I like it this way. We're going to stamp the sand right on our Designer Series paper. And we're going to do it a couple of times here to get different tones. There we go. Next, what I'm going to do is I am going to grab my Pacific Point ink pad, and I am going to stamp the words from that set, and it says, "Hope you find paradise wherever you may be." And so I'm going to make sure we've got good ink on that, and we're going to line that up right about there. I think stamping on our Designer Series paper is something sometimes that we forget about doing. So we've got that. Going to go back in and find the palm trees, and we're going to add them with some dimensionals, the small dimensionals. And let's see, we can peel that back off. Put one down here. Don't want to put too many dimensionals because it's going to be overlapping a little bit. Let's go ahead and pull that down. There we go. So we've got our trees. Going to add that now to our scalloped rectangle. This comes from the Scallop Contours dies. So we're going to add that piece. Bring in that sun, grab another dimensional and put on that sun. So stamping right on that designer series paper just gives a totally different look to the paper. And another reason you need paper. So we have a piece of Pacific Point. This measures 5.5 by 8.5, and along the 8.5 inch side, I am going to score it at 2 1/8. And what I like to do with a gatefold card, I could then score on the other side at 2 1/8, but if I'm off a fraction of an inch, it really shows. So I'm just going to fold over. I see I got some ink on my cardstock, but it's not going to matter because we're going to put that designer series paper over top of it. And it's just got a nice 1/8 inch border all the way around. And now what we're going to do is we are going to do that self-locking technique with this card. So we'll go ahead and put the inside in our card with a basic white. Like so. And I see I may have cut that paper. It's not, must be 5 1/4 that I cut it this way. 4 by 5 1/4 instead of 5.5. So I have a little bit bigger border around there. Now we're going to bring in our 3 pieces of cardstock that measure 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. So we are going to score them at 1 1/4. So right down the middle. We want to make sure that we have nice deep creases. Just going to score the 2 of them. And what we're going to do is fold them over and glue them to the other piece. So we've got the 3 pieces that are 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. You want lots of adhesive on here. And we're going to take, so the fold is towards the center. So line them up. Ooh, let's get rid of that. Yeah, I guess it really doesn't matter. I've got a stamped dimensional backing that decided to attach to that. When we are stamping, dimensional backings are everywhere. And what we want to do is to line up the edge with the edge of the other piece. And then we're going to do the same. A fold centers go into the center and off to the edge. I'm just going to take my bone folder, really press hard on that because I want it sealed well. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to put adhesive on this side. Lots of adhesives because we want to make sure that it sticks. We're going to bring in that scalloped rectangle and apply it. Right on top, like so. Whoops, not getting it on straight. Now these squares I did, we could make them smaller, and I see maybe I should have. This was 2 1/2 and it probably should have been a little bit smaller. So what I'm going to do is grab my scissors. They probably should have been 2 by 2 because this rectangle is smaller. So we're just going to take my scissors and cut the edges because the edges are showing through. Like I said, this piece can be whatever size, and it's just a little bit too big for the scallop rectangle that I use. That is much better. So we're going to apply that on there. And then this is our self-locking. So we're gonna go in here like so, and we're gonna kind of, you can score this. I'm just gonna bend it up, and then it slides right down the center of your card. And there you have a self-locking gatefold card using the brand new Waves of the Ocean Designer Series paper and Paradise Palms bundle. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. We'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.